Welcome everybody to a brand new edition of Wim Whiteboard Wednesday. Today is a first in a series of building e-commerce solutions. Today we look at the architecture, the design, and how to get your content inside the index. Building e-commerce is not easy. As you know, there are many different types of catalogs available, and based on your catalog, your search solution can be easy or quite complicated. The most simple catalog is when you have a flat product catalog. So you have a product with a name, a color, and for example a SKU. This is quite simple to display in a search interface because it's just product list, color and SKU. It becomes a little bit more complicated when you have different variants. So a variant is essentially a variation of a product. So for example, you have the product ID. Then of course you have the SKU because the variant is what you actually are ordering. And then you have the different type of metadata. So for example, you have type, you have gender, and you have size. All of that needs to be indexed. So many search solutions out there create a huge index around this. What Coveo does is we are storing the product and the variant information in different type of records. And on query time, we can merge them together. It becomes even more complicated when you also have product groupings. So you have, for example, a parent metadata where you want to group the results together. An example of such a complicated search interface is shown here. As you can see, we have facets, which are based on products. We have facets based on variants. We have our normal result list, so we have the results. And we are grouping by this grouping information. So that's all contained within the search interface. Let's have a look at the architecture. We have an e-commerce store. It could be SAP Hybris, Commerce Tools, or any other vendor. That store is communicating with our Coveo index using a stream API. That stream API expects JSON records. Then the front end is communicating with our search API to get the results. And we need to know what is happening on the search. So we are sending analytics requests against our analytics API. That's how the architecture looks like. Now that we know our architecture, it's time to start designing your search experience. Based on the search experience, you know what kind of metadata to supply to your index. So before you can start it, you need to know what to supply to your index. So in this example, you have a field called a category, a color, size, manufacturer, all facet data. We need that. We want to sort by price. So price also needs to be part of your JSON data. We have a brand, we have a title, and we have also pricing information here with a discount price. All of that information needs to be supplied when you start streaming your content catalog into our streaming API. So how does a JSON look like which you need to supply to the stream API? You have your product and you have your variant information. So you can supply them separately against the stream API. And the JSON needs at least a document ID because that's what we need to uniquely identify this record to our index. Of course, you need your metadata like a model, a brand, and a color. We need the group ID because we want to group by it in this search interface later on. And we are using the product ID to link on query time the variant record to the product record. And of course the variant also has its own metadata, which you can also display in the search interface. It has a SKU, so everything is right in the product and the variant information available. And that's it. We have the content in our index. Now it's time to start configuring the search platform. That's what we will do in the next part. See you there.